Hello guys, thank you here. We're back with some more Doll's Nest post-game builds. So before we begin, I want to start off by reminding you guys to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and feel free to leave a comment in the comment section if you have any questions about this build. So without further ado, let's get started with the Iroha build. So to start off, for our mobility module, we'll be running the Bravade Mund. For our headset module, we'll be running the Bravade Mund again. We'll be running the Bravade Mund again for our hanger module. We'll be running the Gogol as our thruster module. We'll be running the Varchis as our utility module. We'll be running the Nostal Gans as our primary arms 1. We'll be running the Fams as our primary arms 2. We'll be running the Fog as our rear arms right. And we'll be running the Volk as our rear arms left. For our frame color, I'll just go ahead and start with the main and let you guys take a look at the values I'm using. And for our primary arms, we'll be starting with the main again, and I'll let you look at the values. And we'll rinse and repeat with our rear arms. So for our humanoid, we're going to start off with the face. So for the face, I am using the Vans. For the back hair, I'll be using the OGM. For the front hair, I'll be using the Gals. And for the body, I'll be using the Heroes Diplomatic Protocol Humanoid. And for the humanoid colors, I'll start with the skin color and I'll proceed to let you guys look at the values for the rest. So without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and take this build out for a spin. Alright, so the Iroha build. While I was making this build, I decided to go for a build that focuses on the Nostal Gans because, quite frankly, we need a big cannon build. And I figured this is a good time to make a big cannon build. And quite frankly, Iroha's tank does use a big cannon, albeit kinda shoots a little faster compared to this, I guess, but well, it does the same damage, right? Speaking of damage, here's how you want to use this build. So you want to open up by firing at your opponent first, and then proceed to use your rear arm to deal damage. Try to finish him off with this. As I tell you, get your main cannon up. Do be careful about taking damage with this build. Try to use both your rear arms, both your rear arms as much as you can. As for the utility module, use that if you need to replenish yourself on ammo. But yeah, generally you just want to open up with your Nostal Gans as such, and then proceed to attack them with your arms. So yeah, this build is also pretty taking care of itself as well. I could be using the Hansmund as the rear, not the rear, the hanger module. just for a little bit more accuracy, but then realized it wouldn't be an Iroha build if I didn't make my build tanky, so I decided to just go for this. You know what? I don't think we're going to go to the water area. And by the way, we're at the water treatment plant, in case if everyone's wondering. Oh, granted, I feel like I don't really need to mention that because, well, you managed to stick with this series so far, you probably know where we are, just by looking in general. But yeah, generally, you kind of just want to fire off your primary arms and rely on your rear arms. I was thinking about using trebuchet cannons for this build, but I decided against it because, well, you kind of want to be a little bit nimble with this build because you're mostly running Bravado Moons, and Bravado Moons is not too particularly fast. It is heavily armored though, so that's pretty nice. Also, I was thinking about replacing the fans with a pistol, but then I realized giving this build a pistol might not be such a high idea since I am on tank tracks. Although granted, that also means, well, this build isn't quite as close to Iroha's build, but I've been thinking about it, does Iroha really use her pistol that much? I don't think she does. And when you stop and think about it, the fans is kind of a pistol. Sort of. Also, that's one problem with this build. Not gonna be quite as accurate when you're firing the cannon, so, might be a good idea just to get close to your enemy, then fire. As such. If all else fails, you can always switch to your fans and try to mow them down that way, but I don't recommend doing that against heavier enemies. Or elite enemies. I guess these guys should be fine. As such. Yes. But apart from that, yeah, this build is pretty strong. Would I recommend using this build against bosses? Well, probably not, but for general exploration, this might be a good build for you. Although granted, sniper tank still reigns supreme in terms of making things a little bit easier for yourself. But apart from that, there's not really much else to say about this build. Like as usual, just give your enemies the old 1-2 punch, and by the old 1-2 punch, I mean fire off your Nostalgants and then proceed to attack them with your rear arms. And I should probably also mention this as well, but make sure you're topped up on your rear arms loadout or load, because the last thing you want to do is fire off your Nostalgants and not have your rear arms up. Because if that happens, well, you won't be able to destroy the enemy in general. You might end up having to use your FAMs, and unfortunately, by falling back to your FAMs, you won't be able to use your Nostalgants for a bit because, well, when you switch to a different weapon in the middle of a reload, you have to reload the other weapon from the start, which is a bit of a problem. It comes to using two weapons, but it's something you learn to mitigate. But with this build, yeah, you have to make sure your Nostalgants is reloaded all the way, and quite frankly, the Nostalgants is kind of tricky to reload, considering the fact that it has a very long reload rate. But other than that, yeah, this build is pretty okay. It's not the best build in the world. Like, you can make it work, but it's feasible. It's feasible for exploration, and that capacity, I say it's a pretty good build. But without further ado, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and end the video off here, since not really much else to talk about with this build. So if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And if you have any questions or concerns with this build, feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. So without further ado, this is Thank You signing off. Goodbye.